So when we look at the summary chart now on the screen, there is a lot going on. The blue bar with diagonal stripes is the effective tax rate as a percentage of taxable value, and the orange bar with diagonal stripes is the effective rate as a percentage of market value. Both of those bars are scaled to the left axis. The stacked bar in the center of each example is scaled to the right axis and shows the total taxes by type, with a legend explaining each color at the bottom. You can see that the effective tax rate as a percentage of assessed value is relatively consistent across all 5 examples, ranging from about 1.275% to about 1.913%. Because of how assessed values are set, however, you do get some oddities. For example, even though example 2 pays a higher tax bill than example 3 actually has a higher effective tax rate by assessed value, and example 1, despite having a much lower tax bill, has a higher effective assessed value rate than both of them. But when you look at the effective tax rate as a percentage of market value, the disparity becomes dramatic, ranging from 0.097% for the longtime homeowner to 1.528% for the newest development. The general purpose tax amount, shown in the center bar of each example in dark green, also shows major variation. As you will recall, the homeowner in example 1 paid about $71 for city services, while the homeowner example 2 paid more than $1,600, almost 23 times more for the same services. That difference is driven entirely by differences in assessed value. And when you add in the CFDs to the mix, the total bill for example 5 is 28 times higher than example 1. And this brings us back to the initial explanation of CFDs. Newer developments rely heavily on CFD financing because Prop 13 suppresses assessed value growth. CFDs ensure that new development contributes the additional revenue needed to support the police, fire, parks, and infrastructure that serve those communities. Older homes and older neighborhoods don't have these CFD layers because they were built before the Melrose Act existed or before service CFDs were commonly required. This is why when you look up and down the state, older communities with little growth are having a much harder time financially. So to summarize the key takeaways as you review your property tax bill, first, remember that your assessed value is not your market value. Prop 13's 2% cap is the reason for that. Second, the 1% general tax levy is divided among many agencies according to the tax rate area you live in. Third, many of the line items, college bonds, school bonds, water agency bonds, hospital district bonds, come from voter-approved measures. Fourth, CFD facilities taxes do eventually fall off the bill once the bonds are paid. Lastly, development-specific CFD services taxes stay within the boundaries of the development they serve. They do not fund citywide services.